Welcome back to the 90s Rewind. That was the Manic Street Preachers with A Design for Life. And I'm joined this evening by another Paul, Paul Weller of Burnley and various other football clubs throughout the 90s. And Paul is joining me this evening. But, obviously, the 90s, your football career sort of comes to an end around about 2004. What's been the trajectory recently? What have you been up to?
Well, I tried to stay in football afterwards. I got offered coaching roles at Burnley Football Club within the academy and within the community during the day. And it was going okay. It was going well. But the job came up at Bury to go and manage the actual community scheme on a full-time basis, be the community manager. And I went over, done that for about, I think it was about 6-12 months before I then took on the academy manager's role as well and oversaw the academy and the community at Bury. But it was a difficult club to be involved with behind the scenes. At the time was many takeovers and and I'm not an expert on running a business, but what I was seeing, I was cringing at, and they used to run things on the back of a fag packet. It just wasn't for me. And the new owners came in and we didn't really agree on many things. They were doing some crazy things behind the scenes, and
as we found out with the ultimate folding of the club, as it turned out. And it's interesting you say that, because my son was going through the community thing. So you were technically managing Bury Juniors, my eldest. Apologies. Oh, right. So you did a fairly good job. They won the league a couple of times. Now, as well as that, now you're joining me, as you said, you're joining me from the car because you're selling cars. Where's that taken you since?
Yeah, well, it was about 7 years ago. I just, had a chat with one of my friends, Gary, and I just said, let's do something different. He's been in the car world before, and we decided to set up a little car business, put some money together, and got a little pitch in Colne, end of the M65, so it's quite localish. And it's gone from there. For 7 years ago, we started with 5 cars on the pitch, and I think now we've got nearly 50 cars on the pitch. It's busy. It's not what I thought I'd be doing at the end of football, but I enjoy it. You get to meet lots and lots of people, lots and lots of football fans, not just Burnley fans, but Blackburn, Accrington, even the local league teams, your Colnes, your Nelsons, Clitheroes, and it's good. It's not the same every day, so I get out and about to go and buy cars, meet people, and just generally not just sit in an office all day long. So it's an enjoyable experience.
Well, it will certainly keep you on your toes. And talking of learning new things and new skills, you've also recently become an author as well, on top of all of that. What point did you decide, I need to get all these things down in a book?
Well, I used to see the man that helped me with this, Dave Thomas, regularly on holiday. He had this place over in Tenerife where we used to go regularly, and I used to bump into him every summer. And he just said to me, he said, I want to do a book on you. And I sort of kind of laughed, really. I said, look, I'm not a Paul Gascoigne. I'm not any Ian Wright. Who's going to buy it? And he went, look, locally, he said, you were there for the 90s. He said, we've never really done anything on the 90s. You can talk about Jimmy Mullen, Adrian Heath, Chris Waddle, Stan Ternant, and all the players that were in that dressing room. And I just thought, why not? Yeah. Why not? He said, look, I'll come and meet you every week. We'll sit down, we'll jot down loads of things. My memory's not the greatest, so I had to constantly ring a lot of friends, Glenn Little especially, because his memory is unbelievable. And I missed out a lot because we could have done about 3 books, I think, with what used to go on in the dressing rooms and the ups and downs of a football club. But I got a lot down and got the opportunity to, sell a few books and raise a bit of money. That was the idea. I wanted to try and give something back to the Gary Parkinson Trust. It's not massive money what you make on a book. You get 50p. It's literally that. It's not a lot. But it was something, and every penny helps. So it was a good experience, and it's good to look back on my career. It's written down in a book.
That's the thing. And if you're a Burnley fan, then you want that document of that time. And, it will bring back a lot of memories for people. It'll sort of kind of lift the lid on some of those things, because the fans, as soon as you go in the dressing room, that's it. Story's over for them. But you've given them that insight into what it's like to be a professional footballer, haven't you?
That's right. I've had a lot of feedback about that. They didn't realise this happened. They didn't realise, crikey, that was going on behind the scenes. They didn't realise about my illness as well, because, I missed a whole season with the illness and a large part of the following season. And they didn't really know what I was going through. They didn't really know the operations and what it meant and how much it set me back. But at the same time, it also showed the support that I got off Stan Ternant. He used to visit me every Sunday in hospital. He used to come after church. So these sort of things, people don't see the caring person that he is as well.
Yeah.
So it was good to write it down and to look back on.
He's not just the guy going red in the face on the touchline, is he? Now I'm going to ask you the inevitable question. Burnley, are they going to make it? Are they going to scrape through this season?
Well, up until Saturday, I was so confident, thinking home games against Aston Villa and Newcastle, will 6 points be enough? But it was a poor performance at the weekend. I think the big thing now is we've got a few key players missing. We've got our skipper missing, Ben Mee, we have done, but also now Tarky's picked up a hamstring injury. With only a couple of weeks left, are we going to get him back? Because if we don't have him back, 2 strikers missing, we're a bit threadbare. And to go into important games, 2 tough games, Tottenham and Aston Villa, that's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But we know what Burnley's about. The bounce back ability they have has been superb over the years. Did we expect them to be where they are now and pick up 10 points under the managership? So I really don't know. I think Everton are starting to squeeze out of it. Leeds have got some difficult games. Can we keep our heads above Leeds? Yes, we can. But I think there's going to be another twist or two yet.
It's going to take some digging in. I mean, whether it's the top of the table or the bottom, nobody knows quite what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks. And, that's what's being a football fan's all about, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely. The twists and turns of football, top and bottom.
Now, listen, Paul, it's been lovely to talk to you today. We kicked off with an Oasis track. We're going to go back to another one now. You don't get better than Wonderwall, do you?
No, best song ever.
So, right, essentially, is this one of those ones that, end of the day, dressing room, everyone's going to be, somebody starts kicking off with this, everyone's going to sing along, aren't they?
Everybody in the dressing room used to sing it. We used to go away end of season dues, and it'll be a player or two who will get up and sing it at karaoke. It's wherever you go on a holiday, you constantly hear this song. It's one of the best.
Well, we're going to play it for you now. Paul Weller, Burnley legend. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. Here's Oasis.